Welcome back. This is not a podcast. It's just my thoughts with Rob Markman. Shout out to all y'all who watch, like, subscribe, comment. You know, I try to talk back. On our last video, we had some very real talk. So I appreciate hearing from y'all, hearing y'all perspective for sure, man. So let's keep this going. Let's keep this up. Wanted to shout out the new members to our monthly music squad. Incognito, Diaz, welcome to the squad. Y'all can join too. If you're on desktop, there's a join button right under there. We have our own Discord where we talk music at any time. And every week we do a stream. We do like all get on camera and talk with each other, and we pick one album. One group member picks an album for the rest of us to listen to. We discuss it, and then we just discuss normal hip hop topics. Shout out to everybody who watched Culture United and who are new to the channel from that. My man Justin, my man Head Crack, man was good. Curtis King, Wayno, Glasses Malone, Read My Soul. Super dope, man. It was a dope conversation. So also want to shout out Jasmine Bia on Twitter. That's with like 4 H's. In my Kendrick GNX tour video the other day, I did use one of her videos and I wanted to shout her out. She shouted me out. She was like, yo, that was my video. I didn't like quite realize. What's up, Jazzy? Appreciate you. Appreciate all the love that you're showing. Hope everything is well. Speaking of Kendrick, you know what I mean? I want to get into a scenario today, right? So imagine that you're Kendrick Lamar. You just had one of the best years in hip hop. Came off a victory of the biggest battle we ever seen. Then you drop your #1 album, GNX. A likely Grammy nomination is on the way for GNX because it wasn't nominated at this year's Grammys because it came out too close to the Grammys. So likely nomination for next year. Fantastic album. Biggest hip hop album right now. Multi-platinum plaques are guaranteed once his team sorts out the RIAA certifications. You know, you gotta go for the audit. You gotta sort that all out. But multi-platinum plaques are guaranteed for this album. If not diamond ones, is not far-fetched. On that GNX album, you're Kendrick Lamar and you collaborate with SZA, which is huge. You collaborate with Roddy Ricch, and you know, a known artist, like artist with his own accolades, which is dope. And you go ahead and collaborate with a handful of up and coming artists from your city, from your overall area. Artists who many of them had a buzz for sure, not discounting that. But artists who maybe the casual hip hop fan hasn't heard of or weren't like super familiar with, even if they knew the name. Guys like Lefty Gunplay, AZ Shik, Peso, Hitter J3, Young Threat, Wale the Sensei, Siete, Dodie 6, names like that. If you're in LA, you likely heard the names, you heard the music. You know, I'm not by any means shitting on any of the work that they did previously to GNX, any of these guys, but the world at large, casual hip hop fan, somebody who's not super tapped in, may have not heard of, definitely didn't hear of all of these names, maybe one or two. Now imagine you put this artist on your album GNX and one of these artists start coming for you. Earlier this week, man, No Jumper posted a text from Dodie that he had sent to Adam 22, which said, K-Dot is a bitch, ain't tapping in. Which seems crazy, like seems insane, right? You know, it's up there on the screen. You know, and there's context here. Dodie appears on Hey Now from GNX. Him and Kendrick are going back and forth on the track, like trading verses. I actually really fuck with that verse. I think out of all of the new up and coming, like I really like Hey Now. I really like that back forth. Who the fuck I feel like Joker, Harley Quinn up in the cut with a blower. You know, man, once you start getting into the comic book bars, yeah, y'all got me sold. So I really enjoyed that collaboration. You know, earlier this year, Dodie was on the Cruise show in LA, Real 92.3, and talked about how Kendrick and his team treated him like family. But his tone is different now. And there's some other important context now. In the text to Adam 22, he said that he's on meth. So he's dealing with some type of drug addiction, it seems. He also recently made a video saying that he's homeless. So, you know, we can check that out.
back cuz, cause I don't got no destination, bro. On FC. Nigga, I lost my house. Nigga, I'm homeless. Nigga, I'm crip. I admit that shit. Nigga, I fell down. I'm gonna bounce back up though. Watch this. It's all good, cuz. And these rap motherfuckers, I can't wait till these rap motherfuckers start saying shit in their songs. I'm like, dead homies. I'm gonna beat their ass on the beat, and I'm gonna kill them in real life. Nigga, that fucking song with Kendrick ain't changed shit, nigga. The fuck is that change, nigga? I'm still from 40s, nigga. I'm still over here, nigga. You act like a nigga got $1 million for that shit, nigga. The fuck, nigga? All that shit, nigga got some clout, nigga. And fuck clout, nigga. On the dead homies, nigga.
You know, so if you saw these two videos, he said that people act like he got $1 million from being on GNX, and he says all he got was clout. And it's true. You know, it goes a lot into the expectation of what comes with it. Like, yeah, like he didn't get $1 million. That's not the reality. He didn't command $1 million for a feature. But all he got was clout. But it's like, well, okay, how do you leverage that clout? How do you hustle to use that clout to go, you know, get the millions of dollars? He also seemingly got his chains stolen and may have gotten DP'd from his own crew. That stuff is more tied to the streets and culture out in LA that I don't have any opinion on, because that's not my life or my expertise. You know what I'm saying? Now, there is a part of this that's sad. I mean, the fact that he admitted that he has a drug problem, the fact that he says that he's homeless, like, that sucks. But it seems like, and I want to illustrate this, not just to talk about what's going on in the news, but I know there's a lot of up and coming artists who watch me as well, and maybe there's a lesson here. You know, it seems like that Dodie just wasn't prepared to take advantage of what came with getting such a big look. Him as an artist. Then you also have to ask yourself, what is his team structured like? What is his business structured like? Were they structured? I mean, does he have a team? Is he doing it alone? And were they structured? And was the business and what, you know, was your publishing straight? Like, what is your structure like to be able to take advantage of such a look? The fact of the matter is, there's no magic bullet in this shit, in this business. Even having a look with Kendrick on the biggest rap album out, how do you take advantage? I've seen AZ Shik, who has had his own buzz previous to this, who absolutely was moving previous to this, has his own team, has his own business set up prior to being on GNX with his independent releases, had a stream of income from his independent releases. He had his business set up. I've seen him firsthand get to work. You know, he leveraged the GNX looks, plus everything he built before, packaged all that together, was able to get himself a deal over at Warner. And what I'm hoping was, and what I suspect was a deal that was favorable to him, because I don't know this for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if you know, Shik had other deal offers, may have had a major label deal before or whatever, but labels were definitely calling and talking based off of his independent success. But after GNX, he's able to package all that up, leverage everything, and got a deal with Warner, man. So shout out to his team, man. He was like set up for it. And it's still a long road to climb, right? Because there's only so long you be like, hey, I'm the guy from GNX. Like, eventually all artists have to stand on their own 2 feet. Again, Shik had a name, a catalog, a reputation, a business, momentum before all of this. So you package it on and you help further your momentum and get to where you want to go and where you need to go. I had Shik up at Genius, spoke to him, man. He seems like a dope dude, super focused. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him win. I seen Lefty Gunplay, who has mad problems. I've sat with Lefty too, spent 2 days with him when I was out there in LA, you know. I had him on Genius as well. There's a episode that hasn't come out yet where I speak to Lefty, but Lefty admits to having substance abuse issues that he's working on. Lefty admits to like shit being really difficult with him, and when you sit with him, you're like, oh, this guy who has just got out of prison and who has been in prison for a big part of his life, it has a hard time adjusting to this shit, but you see him working at it, right? We've seen him arrested since GNX. It's just the reality. We saw him arrested at Rolling Loud. We seen him in the news, but I haven't seen him blame anyone for that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of the difference. Or have an expectation beyond the opportunity he was given. He has a team around him as well, and I know members of his team and got to spend time with members of his other team, and I see them working, and I see them trying to problem solve when they have it seems like when they hit a bump in the road, they come together and they be like, okay, how can we keep this momentum going? How can we keep our artists on a positive path and a path towards growth? Lefty linked with Problem. Jason Martin, aka Problem. Shout out to P. Legend. You know what I'm saying? And they have music dropping together. They working. So using that opportunity from GNX and then trying to work it in their favor, but not blaming anybody. I see Hitter J3. He just dropped a video for his song Gang Gang, like working. That's why I always push back. And I'm pulling the scope out more, right? Because again, as much as this is about Dodie 6, and you know me, I don't really believe in kicking nobody's back in, man. The guy looked like he's having problems. But again, I think there's a lesson to be learned here. That's why I always push back on the industry plant notion. Regardless of how you come into the game, there's a certain amount of work that's needed. There's a certain amount of structure that's needed. Very seldom is it just one feature that does it or gets you on. Very seldom is it just one look that gets you on. And if it happens, and then you're not prepared to put that work in, it doesn't sustain. There's nothing wrong with having a team. There's nothing wrong with having a plan. There's nothing wrong with marketing yourself the right way. This is the music business. And I think that's what a lot of fans, that's what some artists forget. Like everybody feels like it's organic. Like the music, most of the music that you love, I'm not saying it's not good music, especially in the major label system, but it was marketed to you. It was worked. It was part of a plan. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't take away from the fact that it's good music or these artists are talented. But most of the time when you see success, it is the combination of your talent and a plan, a team, like something to elevate that talent. You even look at a guy like shout out to LaRussell. I love what LaRussell is doing, and it's organic in the sense that like it's grassroots. You've seen LaRussell build that from the ground up. Shout out to LaRussell. But LaRussell, and has talked about it, targeted ads on Facebook, like how to reach your audience, how to build your audience, how to grow your audience. Like it's not like LaRussell just puts a song out and does a concert and he's dope and he has dope energy and everybody just flocks to him because of that. It's a result of the work that they put in. It's a result of his talent. It's a result of his drive, his tenacity, a plan that he put in place and how he works that plan, how much content he gives you. You know what I'm saying? How much he puts a focus on his music and his talent and the plan that they put out there to work it. That's why I always push back on the industry plan notion. Like, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying people don't place artists in front of you that it's like, damn, they skipped the line, or how did they deserve it? But you could weed that out pretty quickly, because if that artist isn't working, if that artist isn't like, you know what I'm saying, really about they shit, they gonna fall off just as quick. But everything you see, everything you love is a part of a plan. So when Dodie says he's fucked up, that's an unfortunate reality for artists on the come up. But all of that part about Kendrick is a bitch for not tapping in, again, I don't know nothing about the hood politics of it. But on some artist / music business shit, Kendrick's fan base, the huge fan base, were not asking him to get a Dodie 6 feature. Sounds like he did that more for the love of his city, maybe being a fan of Dodie. Maybe there was a bit of a request for that, or a yearning from within the city, but it wasn't like there was this overwhelming cry for that collaboration from Kendrick. Like Kendrick appeals worldwide, so it wasn't like it was this overwhelming cry. It wasn't like that one feature was gonna make or break GNX. But what a dope move for LA. Right? What a dope move for the city. Like there were other reasons why he did it. I'm not sure what happens here. I don't know. But for young artists, just know there isn't one magic bullet. that does it. And you also have to be fully prepared and take advantage for when those huge looks come. Because sometimes it might just come, X artist calls you to the studio, yo, I need you here tonight. And you might get an opportunity that the day before you didn't even think was possible. And then that opportunity comes. But what's your preparation for it? Are you ready for it? Are you ready to take advantage? Are you ready to fully, just go where you need to go after that? It's an assist. It's an alley-oop. It's not a free ticket. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments, all right? Until the next time. Peace.